should be pretty cool. We've seen some good games so far today. Hopefully you've all enjoyed them as well, as much as I've enjoyed being able to cast them for you. We've got quite a few games to go. This is the ace match of the first series of today, but there is another series after this. It's going to be White versus Naz, but for now let's focus on this ace match. As that should be pretty cool. Let's just check that that's updated. No, it hasn't. And once this is ready, we'll bring up the rest of the overlay. Here we go. So as you can see, when we move on to the other overlay here, we're going to have Magician versus Cryoc. It's their debut matches for both teams, and neither of them have played. Going to be a ZVT. It's going to be a close one as well. I believe both of them are quite evenly matched. Not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that, but should be a lot of fun. It's good to finally see a TVZ as well. I know I've said recently that TVZ isn't my favourite matchup to watch, but you know what? I do prefer it to PvP and TVZ. So let's have a look at the map that it's going to be on. It's going to be on New Empire of the Sun. As you can see, 4 corners, 4-player map, low ground thirds. Going to be important for the Zerg to take another main for this. Very, very small chokes going into the main, so it makes it a little bit easier for lurkers to hold. New Micro very strong on this map as well. Lots of ridges, lots of dead space behind the naturals as well. So, going to be pretty good for them. And here we go. So let's actually hop on into the game and let's get going for the ace match of this series. And here we go. Looks like we do have Magician starting us off, spawning in the top left position. He is going to be the yellow Zerg. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left. We do have his opponent, the teal Terran, red Cryoc. Looks like chat's going a bit crazy. Unfortunately for the people watching on the VODs, they're not going to be able to see the chat, but if they check the Twitch VOD as well, they can see it. But chat's been going a bit insane today, you know, as usual. It's always very, very similar. Always going on about my front door. Nothing I can do about that, guys. I'm actually, you know what, it's triggering me so much, I'm going to get like a cover to put over the door or something, and then at least I can hide it, and then I won't be, they won't say that I'm in a prison all the time. But looks like we don't have a 9 pull or anything coming up for Magician. Should be seeing a 12 hatch here, most likely. He is going to send his Overlord in the correct direction as well. But kind of an interesting choice to scout south with the Overlord, as the natural expansions are actually here, and here. So does make it a little bit unsafe to send it this way. There is a lot of dead space outside of the main. We do actually have the 12 hatch coming up shortly as well. Cryoc, I'm not sure whether or not he's going to go for 1-1-1. He very may well go for 1 Rax fast or 1 Rax double into a very quick +1/5 Rax. Most likely a +1/5 Rax, very standard on, well, not standard on this map. This is a bit of an older map. It did come out in 2011, so it's not, no wait, it came out in 2010. So +1/5 Rax was a thing back then. It wasn't as common. Flash hadn't fully mapped it out. Interesting, Magician not making use of the lava trick to move his lava close to the minerals. Not really too worried about that short optimization. Here we go, the spawning pool is on the way. Looks like Cryoc is going to avoid gas, so it is going to be 1 Rax double here for him. A Magician going to scout the other natural, but Cryoc sending his SCV in the correct pattern. Of course, as I did mention, the Overlord is likely to scout towards the natural, so if it spawned in this top left or top right position, the Overlord would have been there. He will actually scout the pool timing and everything. He's going to know he feels pretty safe. He's going to be able to take his expansion very securely here, and there's not really too much the Magician can actually do to not too much he can actually do to deal with that. And I should really not look at chat because it's making me laugh. But there we go. Hatchery is going to finish soon. Nice bit of drone micro actually taking out some of the health on this SCV. Really nice use of the SCV to try and block the third hatchery. Really good job by Cryoc there. Third hatchery will eventually go up, as you can see here, but with the command center on the way, delayed third hatchery, he's going to be feeling pretty good. second supply block on the way. I do know that Cryoc likes to in 2-Rax Academy as well. It was a build he was trying to get me to do. But as you know, I'm a Maverick. I don't play standard. But let's see how this is going to evolve. Looks like we do actually have the refinery coming up. This is indicative of a +1 5-Rax timing. Some Lings on the way to try and chase out the SCV. Opting to build 2 sets just to make sure. He has actually scouted the... Well, he has finally scouted the Terran player. But his scout is very, very far behind at the moment. Okay, it looks like we're going to have a very, very quick third and in a very, very interesting position as well. This is so close to the Terran player. He is playing incredibly greedy here to be able to try and do this. It's likely not going to get scouted. Cryoc will more than likely check the other main. I guess that's more standard. You could actually check the other natural as well. I suppose the one benefit he does have with this base is it is down the small ramp. They're going to be very, very easy to defend it, with lurkers at least. And yes, Red Cryoc is IFU Cryoc. He's just on red for the purposes of this tournament. Eon Zerg for some reason didn't want to sign up IFU, so they're not actually in the tour. I guess maybe they don't have that many players these days. It's mainly him, Cryoc. I think Pauline is maybe active still, but other than that I've not really seen too much. Now this is a very, very important move out for Cryoc to be making. He's going to force the Zerg into looking to build some Sunkens. We should actually see a creep colony coming up very shortly. But no, the Lings are actually going to in to confirm that the Marines are definitely not going across the map. And that's a very, very nice usage of his Lings there, just to make sure he doesn't need any creep colonies. This is going to allow him to play a little bit more greedy, and this time it's not going to be Mutalisks. We are going to see a lair, but he is going for a very, very quick Hydralisk Den. So likely going to see some Lurkers here. Going to scout the bunker. So he does know that he's pretty safe there. Really nice use of the supply depot as well. Just keeping that in front. Barracks on the way. Second barracks even. Academy as well. So yeah, the timing is sort of indicative of a +1 5-Rax. Could actually be just going 4-Rax though, into a little bit of pressure into tech. But 5-Rax going to be a little bit harder to do against lurkers. Looks like we do have drones coming up at the base. Is there going to be lurker aspect researching? Yes, there is. So lurkers are on the way. A couple of creep colonies being added just to make sure he's perfectly safe. And here we go. Lings actually moving out on the map. Going to see if they can pick off any Marine medic. Cryoc not looking to be aggressive though. Cryoc is going to wait, try and get up his bases. Let's see where his first scan is. Now his scan is here to actually check how many Sunkens there are. Check what exactly is going on. He also checks the main just to find the tech. He doesn't see the third base, but he does know that lurkers are going to be on the way, and he knows that with only 2 Sunkens, there is going to be either a lot of Lings or a lot of Mutas, or in this case Hydras on the way, because there isn't that many drones at both bases. Fairly nice saturation though. With the very, very early 4 hatchery production, going to be pretty good for him. Now of course, this map does leave this massive counterattack path open, and we actually could see a very, very big Ling counter. Is there any fire bats in the bunker? No, not yet. This can actually be quite dangerous. There's a lot of Lings. As I did say, 2 Sunkens is indicative of quite a lot of Lings. Now 3 to 4 is usually... 3 is more the standard, and... Oh, sorry, no, 2 is the standard even. 3 to 4 I believe is when the Zerg is looking to be a little bit more harass based with Mutalisks, but of course this is a Hydra Lurker Ling opening, which is kind of interesting to see in a TVZ. We're not going to see any fancy Mutalist micro this game. Cryoc actually checking for any lurkers at the top of this ramp, but he is pushing towards a third that does not exist, and this is a big Ling counterattack. There is quite a lot of damage being done by the Marines, so even an SCV trying to help out. But is this just too many Lings? The Lings are going to try and push forward. There is double bunker though. He knows that lurkers are a threat. He knows that there could be an all-in coming. But he does not know that there's no third base up here. Cryoc is going to be very, very disappointed when he gets to this base and sees there's no creep. He is going to be wondering what exactly is going on. Where is the Zerg's third base? He has not checked this base with a scan, and he is not going to be feeling good right now. He sent most of his units up to the other side of the map. He has left himself a little bit more open to a counterattack. We have 4 lurkers on the way. The important thing is there is only 2 sunken, so these units could actually come back and do some damage. But he's still looking around for this third base. He's not defending his front with all of his units. We actually see a scan going down on the main just to see if there's any additional tech. He thinks he's still on 2 base. He's not really sure what's going on. Lurkers are, of course, defending this with a sunken and a couple of Hydras. Going to make it very difficult for him to push in. But this move by Magician is going to make it very, very difficult for Cryoc to actually make it out of his base. Cryoc is adding on a Science Society, adding on tanks, going to be adding on Siege as well if he hasn't already. And he's going to try and hit a handbang timing, but it's going to be very difficult against a Zerg that isn't actually on 2 base. He thinks that all he has to do is to defend. He's still trying to find the bases. He's sending his units to the wrong place again. Actually going to stim in, scans and misses. Actually scans for any lurkers and misses the fact there's no hatchery. He's checking around for a drone anyway. He just really does not know what's going on. Taking this low ground third has actually really thrown Cryoc off here. But here we go, looks like we do have the Hydralisk Den up, double Evo actually doing... Okay, it looks like he's finally scanned the third base, he does know what's going on now. And basically, a handbang timing, from what I understand, I may be wrong, but I'm fairly certain this is what it means. It basically means you attack when you just about have enough units to break through the enemy's front and just win the game. I think it mainly started based on like the 9-10 minute push with Tank Vessel Marine Medic in TVZ, and it's mainly used to just bust the front and kill the Zerg of their natural. You usually hit just before they're hitting Hive, and that's why it's such an important time to try and hit. No Hive is on the way yet for our Zerg player. We actually have Lings dotted around the map. Magician doing a really good job with his map vision. Cryoc scanning ahead, trying to see if he can break in anywhere. He's looking around for anything he can try and break through. We do finally have the vessel out. It's going to use the tanks to push forward. We have +1 upgrades against the 0-0, soon to be 1-1 of the Zerg player. But he's going to have to pull back these lurkers. There is some units actually blocking any retreating units from the third base. And of course this low ground third is very abusable by Siege. So this is a very important place for Cryoc to try and hold. Strangely, Magician not trying to hold this ramp, actually going to leave himself open to lose his third here, and this timing could be very, very strong. 1-1 has finished. 1-1 has not finished yet for the Zerg player. Looks like 1 attack has just finished now, or 1 carapace even, but this is going to be a very strong push. But that's so many lurkers. How is he going to break through this? With no defilers, it's not going to be completely safe for Magician. The tanks are eventually going to be able to take this down, but Cryoc actually pushing in from the other side, going to open himself up to Sunken Colony fire. Oh, he cannot afford to go down this ramp. He's going to get sandwiched from both sides. He needs to be careful. Lots of units moving in. This is going to be a big, big engagement. Can Cryoc actually hold on? The lurkers are not burrowing. They're finally burrowed. A few of them are a little bit further away than he wants to. All the lurkers at the front have gone down though. 1-1 is not finished. A lot of units have gone down from Magician, and Cryoc has an incredible position. The lurkers actually moving up though, trying to hit the tanks. A nice D-Matrix on one of the tanks here, and this is such a strong push by Cryoc, hitting just before any Hive Tech kicks in and anything else. And even with the sheer number of lurkers, it's just not enough to hold on. Looks like the tanks are shelling down on the lurkers at this third base. And I think Cryoc has broken Magician here. Magician cannot take a fourth base now. The drones are actually being focused down by the tanks as well. One Marine actually going in 1 by 1 to the death. Need to be a bit careful. But here we go. The third has been broken. More and more tanks, medics, marines, and vessels are moving up here to defend. Cryoc taking a third base throughout all of this. Looks like one attack is done, right? I guess SCV is doing gain attack upgrades. I've never noticed that before. I guess no workers do. But here we go. Looks like we do have the tanks now moving in on the natural. How many factories do we have? We actually see Cryoc looking to move into Vultures, into Mech, but this is just so many units. I don't think Magician has enough to hold on. He's at 40 supply. Cryoc with 5 tanks at his front. These 2 Sunken's not going to be enough. And GG! Cryoc will win the series for Red 3-2. So let's actually just quickly Quickly bring this up, bring up my wonderful face, even though people probably don't want me to show this. People are more interested in my door anyway, so I don't know why I even sit here. Like, I could actually just move out the way. Wait, this is going to be a little bit hard to move that way, and there's a little bit of rubbish behind there, so let's not do that. Just like a load of shoes and like boots and stuff behind me. But here we go, let's actually just report that game, report the match, and let's have a look at the results screen. Okay, so if we actually bring up the other overlay, you'll actually see the results for this set. There is one more set coming up after this. Gonna be another best of 5. Gonna be between White and Naz, but as you can see, Tim taking the first win, Fisheye and Kerr bringing it back 2-1. Haven taking the 4th game, and then Cryoc in the all-important ace match does actually manage to take down Magician in a fantastic TBZ. And that is going to give Red their first win. I believe they actually lost the first week, so Cryoc's going to be feeling good about that. Just in case you don't know, just in case you don't know, the way the prize pool is going to be distributed at the very end, there's 4 rounds to this tournament. This is just the first round. Currently the prize pool, actually let me just bring up Maturino. Just to have a look, we've had some very, very generous donations from people. The prize pool currently sits at $630.50, and that is going to be distributed at the end. I've not figured out what the top 4 distribution is going to be, but there is 14 teams.